Police are investigating a possible disturbance in the small town of Oak Creek. No further details are available at this time. July 15th, 2016. Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Population 3,500. At 8:32 a.m., a 911 call came in from a woman named Carol Wilkins. Her voice was calm. Too calm. "I need to report a death. My husband. He's in the basement. He's been there for a while." "Ma'am, how long has he been there?" "About 3 weeks." When police arrived, they found a scene so strange, so unsettling, that veteran officers requested trauma counseling. The case never made national news. This is the most disturbing case you've never heard of. Richard and Carol Wilkins had been married for 31 years. He was 67, she was 65. He had been a postal worker. She had been a school librarian. They were the nicest people on the block. Richard would wave at everyone. Carol brought us cookies every Christmas. You couldn't imagine. In early July, Carol told neighbors that Richard had gone to visit his brother. No one thought twice. It was only when Richard's brother called to ask why Richard never arrived that anyone became suspicious. Carol told the brother, "He changed his mind. He's here with me." The brother called the police.
Officer Michael Torres was the first through the door. The smell hit him first. Sweet, overpowering. The smell of decay. I've smelled death before, but this was different. It was everywhere. In the walls, in the carpet, in my clothes for days after. In the storage closet, behind boxes of Christmas decorations, Officer Torres found Richard Wilkins. He was sitting in a wooden chair. His hands were folded in his lap. His eyes were closed. He was dressed in his Sunday best. He had been dead for 19 days. But that was not the disturbing part. Upstairs, on the coffee table, was a place setting. 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 glasses, 1 half-eaten meal, 1 untouched. In the bedroom, on Carol's side of the bed, indented. Slept in every night. On the calendar, each day marked. The last check mark was from the day before. Carol Wilkins had been living in that house for 19 days, with her husband's body in the basement.
Eating meals, sleeping in her bed, checking the calendar. Detective Lisa Crawford interviewed Carol at the police station. "Carol, when did Richard die?" "June 26th. That was 19 days ago. Why didn't you call anyone?" "I wasn't ready to let him go. I needed time to say goodbye." The medical examiner confirmed Richard died of a heart attack, not foul play. But Carol had moved his body, dressed his body, sat with his body for 19 days. Detective Crawford requested a psychological evaluation. Carol was not insane, not delusional. She was suffering from complicated grief disorder. Carol genuinely believed that if she kept Richard's body, she wasn't losing him. She fed him meals because that was their routine. She was not trying to hide a crime. She was trying to hide from the truth. The psychologist explained that Carol had been showing signs of isolation for years. When Richard died, her mind broke. Not loudly, quietly. She wasn't evil. She wasn't crazy. She was a woman who loved her husband so much that she couldn't survive without him. She lived in a world where he was still alive for 19 days. The most disturbing part is not what Carol did. It's that no one noticed. For 19 days, no one called, no one visited, no one checked. Carol Wilkins was not charged with murder. She was charged with failure to report a death and abuse of a corpse, misdemeanors. She completed probation and grief counseling. She still lives in the same house. We see her sometimes. She sits on her porch. She waves. We wave back, but we don't go over. I don't think any of us know what to say. The most disturbing case you've never heard of is not about violence. It is about loneliness, isolation, and the quiet desperation of a woman who loved too much to let go. Every single person who lived on that street asked themselves the same question. Why didn't I check on them? Why didn't I knock on the door? This is the most disturbing case you've never heard of. Not because of what Carol did, but because of what we didn't do. Check on your neighbors. Call your parents. Visit your friends. The people who need help the most are often the ones who never ask. I'm your host. Thank you for watching. And remember, the most disturbing cases are not always the ones with monsters. Sometimes they're the ones with nobody.